Hello, BookTube and AuthorTube. In the words of Georgia R. Martin, life is miserable and full of pain. And it's not even football season yet. I've had a bit of a disaster in my Camp NaNoWriMo project. So, well, for one thing, I haven't really kept up with the NaNoWriMo website. I basically have just done the project I'm going to do and then gone off to try to do the project without much in the way of updating or any of the social stuff. Assuming there actually is social stuff. I haven't checked the website. I really should after I upload this video. But as far as the writing itself goes, I've done some character work. I finished off the second outline and I started to write the script. And I'm not happy with the script. It doesn't really work. So I'm thinking I should probably pivot back to writing the story as prose and trying to figure out how I want to like readjust from a comic book script to a prose story. I think I have an idea, because rather than wanting to write a complete novel, superhero novel, where it would either be like an arc or something like that, I think maybe like an emotional arc of like the character coming into their own as a superhero would be more interesting than, say, just a superhero adventure or something like that. And you can even do a more maybe episodic type novel where it's several arcs or mini arcs or whatever, like different stories, but it's tied together through an emotional arc. So that might be something I want to test out. And I'll work on that. I might still try to work on the script too. I'm in that sort of middling phase where I'm setting up the story rather than getting into something more exciting, and it's just not really working for me. But probably if I power through that, it might work. But there is this other option. But thinking about this other option, I also got to thinking about novels and series, and whether planning ahead and of what types of books I want to read or what types of books I want to write, whether or not I would want to do what most science fiction and fantasy writers do, which is write series, or do more standalone novels where the entirety of the story is in one novel, whether that novel is 350 pages or 1200 pages at Lord of the Rings. I just write the story out and then put it out there and then move on to the next project, rather than trying to milk profit from an already existing property, whether that, assuming of course that property or that that work is successful. So yeah, I've been thinking about that, although clearly that's a bit precipitous. So yeah, it's been a bit of a rough writing period. It's also not helped by the fact that I've been other things I've had to do during this period, I like to write in the midnight period from say 6:30 to 10, and unfortunately last Thursday and Saturday there were movies I wanted to watch. I watched The Taking of Pelham 123, which is a very fun movie starring Walter Matthau and Robert Shaw. And I watched on Saturday The Last Picture Show, the film adaptation of Larry McMurtry's autobiographical novel, The Last Picture Show, obviously. So that kind of put me back a little bit. And then I've also been listening to audiobooks and trying them out. And I will talk a bit more about those beginning of June. So, yeah, I haven't really had much time to really focus more on writing, but hopefully I can get back in the groove and really try to work my way out of this conundrum. But until then, I will see you next week. Although, obviously, there will be a weekly reads tomorrow and maybe a Hugo Awards finalist reaction video later, but definitely weekly reads tomorrow. So, until then, BookTube, have a great day and stay safe.